Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make mermaid cuffs / bracers using some leftover scales I had from making this tail. Videos linked below. So I actually made this cuff first to try out this tail making technique, and it's over a year old now and it matches the bottom of my tail. But I was also considering making a koi fish tail for a while, so I ended up making this beauty, and it makes me think about making this tail happen even more now. Anyway, let's get started. As you can see in my green bracer, I used some rhinestones, and even though they've held up pretty well, I wouldn't recommend using them for the full tail, and skipping rhinestones will give the scales a more realistic look. So you'll need a piece of fabric, and I'm using some leftover fabric from my tail. I measured my arm in the place I want the bracer to be, and added about an inch for the Velcro, and cut the fabric to size. You'll also need some Velcro. I've got a sticky back one here, but it doesn't really matter what kind you use, that's just what I had on hand. Needle and thread in the color of your fabric, and a sharp pair of scissors. And here's a little sides comparison to my other bracers, so you know how much to leave for the sides. And of course you will need some silicone scales. Ones I have here are just some leftovers I will be using to demonstrate the process. And I have 2 full videos on how I make my scales, but in short, I take some clear silicone, I recommend aquarium safe silicone, add some acrylic paint and any kind of pigments you want for the color, mix it, put it in the mold, wait for it to cure, demold, cut off the excess, and then repeat until you have enough scales. More in-depth videos linked below. And you want to start planning your patterns starting from the bottom. Once you've decided on the order of the scales, you can start gluing them onto the fabric using some uncured clear silicone. And you also want to mix some in the color of your scales to spread on the sides of the fabric. Then you can cut off the excess fabric and apply rhinestones if you want. For that you would also use clear silicone. So here you can see I've left straps for the Velcro, and now let me show you how to sew it into place. And believe me, I hate sewing, but that's the best way to attach the Velcro. So of course you want to cut both pieces to size. Grab your needle and thread. Make sure your fabric pieces are more or less even on both sides. I needed to trim one side a bit. Then you want to take your Velcro, peel off your sticker if you have the stick-on one, and place it onto the fabric. And again, the glue on the back of it does absolutely nothing except maybe hold it in place for the sewing process. Make sure it's on the right side of the fabric and start sewing. So what I'm doing here is going through the fabric but not through the silicone. So kind of catching a little bit of fabric with my needle, like so, and going through the Velcro. It doesn't really matter what kind of stitch you're using, as you're not going to see it. And this part is probably the hardest part of the whole process. So while you're watching, I'm going to remind you to subscribe to my channel to see more mermaiding, DIY and cosplay stuff coming very, very soon, and like this video if you've enjoyed it so far. And now it's time for the other side. Again, make sure you're doing it on the right side so it closes with the other piece of the Velcro. Stick it on, and you can either skip putting silicone on this side of the fabric or sew it into the silicone like me. With this side, you can go through the fabric and silicone, as you're not going to see any part of it once you close the Velcro. But be careful not to stab yourself with the needle. And here you have the Velcro done. So that's basically the whole process done, and these things are really durable and you can wear them in the pool no problem. Here's how to put it on, and oh my goodness, I really want to make a koi tail. Should it be the theme for my next tail? Leave a comment down below if you agree. And here's both of my bracers looking gorgeous. And that's it for today's video. Don't forget to give it a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel to see more. And I'll see you soon. Bye!